What's going on, guys? Welcome to my very first YouTube video. I know the crowd goes wild. Okay, no they don't, that's awkward. A couple of things to cover today. I get a lot of people who ask me quite often how I eat out and eat the things I do and stay relatively lean. Today I'm going to show you how I track the foods that I eat while I'm out. Basically all you do is estimate, but we'll get to that in a minute. I do have a recipe to show you guys. I think it's going to be oat and raisin cookies, protein cookies of course. They should come in at around 100 to 110 calories each. So without further ado, let's get into that first. Welcome to the Zacro kitchen. This is where the magic happens. And when I mean magic, I mean like I just throw stuff into a bowl and hope for the best, and you guys seem to enjoy that, so we keep doing it. Now, as I said, we're making oat and raisin cookies. I'm actually using Sultanas because I don't know the difference, let's be honest. I don't think anyone genuinely does. Now, I've never made this recipe before, so we're actually winging it together. We're gonna see how we go. I've kind of put together things that I think will work, and we're just gonna, cross our fingers and truly hope for the best. So we'll start with the dry ingredients. By the way, the entire recipe will be written down in the description. So if you don't really have time to watch the video, or you simply don't like the look of my face, just get down there in the description, copy and paste it, you're done. You're good to go. Before we start, I need my trusty whisk. Let's get to it. All right, so we're gonna go 45 grams of rolled oats, followed by 30 grams of your choice of whey protein. Now, I use, for obvious reasons, MyProtein's Vanilla Impact Whey. You can use code ZACRO to secure yourself an absolutely epic discount worldwide. You can use whatever whey protein you like. Definitely make sure it's whey concentrate, not whey isolate, as whey isolate does not bake the same. Casein will work okay in this recipe as well, as we keep the cookie moist. But for now, we're using this one. I'm gonna go 50 grams of brown sugar replacement, or like gold stevia. If I can get it out of the ramekin. Followed up by, you don't need much cinnamon. You can obviously put more if you like, if you're a bit of a cinnamon slut, but we're going a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Followed up with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, depending on where you're from. And the slightest pinch of salt. I'm gonna put more in. There you go. Now whisk that all together to combine. Or as many people get a kick out of me saying, whiskey business. But I'm pretty sure Josh has that one covered. He does enough whiskey business for all of us. Alright, you should have something that looks exactly like that. Pretty simple. Now for the wet ingredients. 42 grams of cashew butter or cashew spread. You can use whatever nut butter you prefer here. I use cashew butter because it's a bit more of a plain taste and doesn't affect the cookies. Obviously, if you use peanut butter, they're going to taste more like peanut butter. But if you like that, then of course feel free. Who am I to tell you what to do? I'm not your dad. Followed up with 15 grams of light butter or butter replacement, i.e. margarine or vegan canola spread. However, whatever one you prefer, up to you. 25 grams of applesauce. Now, I get asked all the time when I use applesauce if it's just like the applesauce you put with your roast pork. It is, it most definitely is. It works in recipes as kind of like a butter replacement. It keeps the moistness in there. You can substitute this out with pumpkin puree, mashed banana, or Greek yogurt, but I feel like applesauce would work best in this recipe. We'll find out at the end. And then 1 egg white as well. And then in with about 3 to 5 ml of vanilla essence or extract. I'm gonna wing it because that's what I do in life in general, as you'll see later on. All right, now we've got our wet ingredients in there. We'll give that a mix. Hopefully it turns out a bit like cookie dough. We'll soon find out. You know what, I nearly think this is gonna work. This is hilarious. This is the best part about experimenting with recipes, is when they work. I've had a lot that don't work. My bin has been extremely full sometimes, which is always a shame because, you know, I hate wasting food, and I'd love to be able to give some of it to people that are less fortunate, but unfortunately I'm not willing to give someone food poisoning because I messed up a recipe. Now, last but not least, these are of course oat and raisin cookies. You're going to need some raisins or sultanas depending on your preference. For me, it's going to be sultanas. I've gone 40 grams because that's the size that it came in, and just fold that in there as well. Now, I'm actually going to chuck this in the fridge to cool for a little bit and hopefully thicken up a little bit and become a bit stiffer. As you can see at the moment, it's a bit drippy, so we're hoping to get rid of some of that and just make sure it's just make sure you're able to form it into a cookie shape. So that's how it is at the moment. And we're just going to stick that in the fridge for 20 minutes, see how we go. Alright, so now the cookie dough has had a chance to thicken up, and it has thickened up a little bit for us, which is exactly what we wanted. We're going to divide this mixture into 6 equal balls. To do that, we're going to get a separate bowl, put it on a food scale, and then scoop out the mixture onto that separate bowl, and then divide that by 6, and you'll have 6 exactly the same balls. Well, size-wise, because obviously you're not going to get your raisins spread out at like very, very evenly. Some will have more raisins than others, but the whole recipe will work out as 6 equal pieces. Alright, grab your nifty food scale. I'm assuming everyone has a food scale, especially if you're watching me, because 9 times out of 10 if you're watching me, you count your macros, and if you count your macros, you're probably measuring food. And to measure your food, you're probably using a food scale. So we're going to grab a separate bowl. Bowl on the scale, just like that, and scoop your cookie mixture into the bowl, just like that. Now, mine has come out at 260 grams. Now we just got to divide that by 6 and we'll have our amount. Hey Siri, what's 260 divided by 6?
260 divided by 6 is about 43.3333.
There you go. So we're going to do 43 gram cookies. Perfect. So now what we want to do is probably grab a spoon for this part, and then zero out your scale so it shows a 0 while it's on there. Now you want to remove 43 grams worth of cookie, which is looking like that much, which is actually a really good amount. Put that onto your baking sheet, just like that, preferably in a circle, but if you like weird shaped cookies, feel free to do weird shaped cookies. Again, who am I to tell you what to do? I'm not your dad. And just rinse and repeat until you're out of mixture. So by now your oven should have preheated, which is obviously what we were supposed to do throughout the meantime. Now I am expecting these to expand a little bit, not a whole lot. I only put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda or bicarb soda, depending on where you're from, in there. So it shouldn't rise too much, it shouldn't expand too much, but I won't be unhappy if they do. This also, my oven is a gas oven, so yours, if you're using a fan force electric oven, may not take as long as mine, but we're gonna wing it. We're gonna do 8 minutes at first and see how they cook, and then if they need a little bit extra, I don't think these will take any longer than 10, but we'll see how we go. There's the raw dough. Let's wing it. Hey Siri, set my timer for 8 minutes.
8 minutes, starting now.
see you in 8 minutes. Well, here we are. When I said I was hoping they would expand, these expanded so much more than I thought they were going to. But they are an amazing size cookie for how many calories that they're going to be. So stay tuned. I'm gonna let these cool and then we'll do a taste test, and then we've got something else to show you guys. All right, there is the final product. These, in my opinion, actually look really good. Top and bottom, they look pretty damn tasty if you ask me. That's if you like oat and raisin cookies. I know that not a lot of people do. I really like them because I'm a sucker for raisins and sultanas. I'll just show you guys the break apart here. I'm really looking forward to these. I think these are going to be delicious. There's only one way to find out. These are really good. They're obviously not like a proper oat and raisin cookie, but these are a great alternative. I really enjoy these. Not bad, not bad for winging it with the recipe. Now, as far as the calories go, for the entire batch of cookies, they're 776 calories, 76 grams of carbs, 37 grams of protein, and 33 grams of fat. So per cookie, if you make 6, you'll get 129 calories per one cookie. Given the size of them, that's pretty damn good. 12.5 grams of carbs, 6 grams of protein, and 5.5 grams of fat. So the macros on these are actually really good as well. You could change that if you wanted to. I use cashew spread, as I said, but if you wanted to use reduced fat peanut butter, would bring the fat down, boost the carbs up a little bit, but ultimately the calories would come down as well. Not by a significant amount, but maybe by 5 per cookie. I'm actually gonna gift one of these to my friend when I see him, and I'll try and get his reaction and see if he likes them or not. So let's crack on. We got loads to do. Let's go. We've finally gotten to USA Foods Moorabbin. I've had to park up the road a bit. I'm not going to take the camera in with me, but I'll show you what I got when I get back. Ugh. We got some stuff. Marshmallow fluff, Walden Farms pancake syrup, fat-free ranch. I'm not huge on ranch, I don't think, but also being in Australia, we don't really have much ranch stuff, so very keen to try it. And I've been told by a lot of Americans that Hidden Valley are the goats as far as ranch dressing is concerned. So we got some of their mix as well. Also never heard of Log Cabin, but we got some of their reduced sugar, 90% fewer calories, sorry, sugar-free, not reduced sugar, maple syrup. These things I have been looking for forever. Sugar-free, fat-free Jello mix. I cannot tell you how hard I have been searching for those damn things for the last 3 years. I picked up some queso. Now, we don't really have queso in Australia, or at least I can't like find any half decent queso. So I was really excited to see that, so I grabbed that straight away. You're not gonna go to a USA food store, I mean it's literally called USA Foods, without copping some Pop-Tarts. S'mores Pop-Tart. We got apparently 2 S'mores Pop-Tarts. I didn't think I grabbed another S'mores one. That's my bad. Chocolate chip, because chocolate chips damn delicious. And I think this one's, yeah, the hot fudge sundae. So that's hella exciting. Really keen to chew some of those down. I also got a super depressing message while I was in there from my pal Ainsley, who said that he's not going to be able to make it for lunch. So I'm just going to go eat food on my own. I'm probably going to go back over to the west and pop into one of my favourite burger shops, and then from there I'll show you how I track that. It'll just be me on my own instead of with my mate Ainsley, but I'll see you very, very shortly. So that was Royal Stacks in Moorabbin, southeast of Melbourne. I did say I was going to go home, but I thought, you know, I might as well just go there. I was just literally just around the corner, so I thought I'd check it out. I would have filmed and talked more in there about how I'm going to track the burger, but unfortunately they had music pumping and I didn't want to get done for copyright, so I'll jump in my car, drive home, and then we'll talk about it. I'll share a little screen recording here and hopefully it helps. Ta-da! Welcome back to my house. I know that was a super quick trip. It wasn't in real life, but you know, you guys don't have to sit in the car for an hour and a bit as we go to my house. Now, for this demonstration, we're going to be using MyFitnessPal. I'm sure a lot of you know what MyFitnessPal is. It's this app right here. Now, there is 3 different options as far as eating out goes and trying to track that. I'm going to show you my favorite 2 and then give you an extra one as well, just so you know you can do it your way and see if you like either or all of them. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is going to add food in lunch because it was lunch. Now for the bun, I know my bun was a brioche bun, so I'm just going to search brioche bun. It varies, but I just use a Costco brand, which will also be Kirkland. Now, we obviously had that in Australia as well, so it definitely counts. You can go, one brioche bun it ranges from 190 to 260 calories. Now, depending on which one you choose, will kind of depend on whether you're trying to gain weight or trying to lose weight. Evidently, a lot of people that thoroughly track calories, I should say, are trying to lose weight. So it's better to go too high than too low and overconsume. However, there's obviously that buffer room between, like, you know, your maintenance and your deficit, where you do have a little bit of room to play, but it's a little bit more important to make sure you're trying to like overshoot it as opposed to undershoot it and then overconsuming. So obviously in that chicken sandwich, there was a bun, pickles, sauce, and fried chicken. So we're gonna track all of those. Now, this is the first way of doing it. In this particular way, you're searching for each individual ingredient and then adding them up like you would a meal or a recipe. So where we go from here is we go on to pickles. Pickles are fairly generic. I'm gonna say 20 grams of pickles. Pickles are fairly average all around. Of course, we got the sauce as well. Sauce was a chipotle sauce. I've already got a little bit there as far as one I've tracked previously. However, I know it might be a little bit more than that. So we're gonna go chipotle sauce and just hit the old search button and see how we go. Homemade sauce, almost any of these would work. We're gonna use Zambrero as a good estimate, and you can guarantee there's a fair amount of sauce on that, so make sure you track that. Not super accurately, but accurately enough where you go, I think that was actually the amount of sauce, and be sure to be honest with yourself. Last but not least, of course, fried chicken. Now I know I had fried chicken thigh and there were 2 pieces, however they were fairly small. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna use Popeyes as an example. Popeyes, American, why am I writing American? Popeyes fried chicken thigh. As you can see there, I've tracked it previously. Now it'll search. Now, as far as this one goes, I'm actually going to track 2 of these ones. I'm actually going to track 1 of these ones. So the fried chicken thigh that I actually had was quite thin throughout. So this won't be 100% accurate, but it is what it is. And that's what it'll look like at the end of the tracking for that particular one. Now the sauce may be well off. It may well be. The brioche roll, again, as I said, it could be off, it could be bang on, we don't know. The fried chicken is the hardest one to get because obviously there's a lot of different places that do fried chicken differently, but all you can do is take a stab at it. So that is one way. So now if I edit that and clear that away, this is the second option, and this is just finding the closest equivalent as far as a place that you know that will have the calorie information in the app, and you can just track it from that. So for me, I would search Popeyes fried chicken sandwich, Popeyes spicy fried chicken sandwich, and there you go. You just use that one right there. So there is a 200 calorie difference between what we tracked individually and what we tracked as far as like an actual meal that's already in there. Either one is fine. As I said, if you want to be more comfortable, track over, don't track under. However, either one of those will be fine. Both are quite high calories, so you understand. And the other option is to not track at all. There is no serious need, unless of course you are particularly trying to lose weight to step on stage for a competition. There is no specific need to track absolutely everything that you consume. You can still find food freedom while in your calorie deficit. I personally don't always track when I eat out, just because I know it can take a hit on how I'm feeling at the time. If I'm trying to be more social at that time and really be in the moment with my friends, then I won't track what I'm eating. I won't really take notice of what's on the plate. I'll just order what I want and eat what I want. That is one of my favorite options, as well as just finding the closest equivalent as to what you can find from a chain restaurant, because that'll already be in the app and you're good to go. I don't like to break it down too thoroughly as far as trying to get the individual ingredients, because I find it just takes too long. I find the closest equivalent, track it, and that's my estimation. Anyway, I hope that helped you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the oat and raisin cookies. If you are in the southeast of Melbourne or in Melbourne in general, please do check out Royal Stacks. It is one of my favorite places to eat. I absolutely love their stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if people still do that on here. I don't really know. And I will see you in the next one.